Namaste and welcome everyone. My name is Shruti Pattekar. I recently graduated from Illinois Wesleyan University and am part of Hindu YUVA activities in Illinois. Welcome to the launch of the 15-year anniversary celebrations of Hindu YUVA, or as we call it, HY15. I hope you all are having a wonderful evening, especially to those who are able to meet in person for this event. I hope everyone is excited to hear more about HY15 and our alumni's experiences, watch the launch of a very special music video created by people across Hindu YUVA, and listen to inspiring words from Professor Ved P. We'd love to hear where all of you are joining from, so comment on the YouTube or Facebook Live with your university or city. First, let's welcome Amrutaji Haude and Jaimanji Katiria, the National President and Vice President of Hindu YUVA, to share a few words.
Namaste and welcome everyone. It's truly my pleasure to welcome you all to the launch of the celebrations of Hindu YUVA's 15th anniversary. Hindu YUVA started in 2006 with a small group, but a grand vision of having a united and impactful Hindu presence on university campuses. We serve as a platform to preserve, practice, promote, and protect our Hindu Dharma. Preserve by creating spaces to come together and learn more about our Dharma through study circles, speaker on campus events, and integrate our values and learnings into our daily lives. Practice by organizing celebrations for our festivals and carrying our Hindu values forward in all that we do. From celebrating Raksha Bandhan as Universal Oneness Day, Surya Namaskar Yagna as a Health for Humanity campaign, or Guru Vandana to honor our professors and university administration as our gurus. Promote by representing the Hindu voice in various spaces, from the classroom to interfaith forums to diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts to faculty and administration meetings. And finally, protect by standing up and standing together to address and counter experiences of Hindu phobia at the individual level, all the way to creating systemic change. Each of our 33 Hindu YUVA chapters and growing carry forward this shared mission to preserve, practice, promote, and protect Hindu Dharma in unique ways. Each university has a unique structure, context, and need, and we at Hindu Yuva adapt to meet each context. We provide a home away from home and a safe space for Hindu students. We welcome all those of any background who are interested in learning more about Hindu Dharma and collaborate with us to represent a united Hindu voice on our campuses. And with that, I'll now pass it over to Jaiminji, who will tell us more about the upcoming HY15 celebration.
Thank you, and Dhanyavad Namrataji, for the wonderful overview of Hindu Yuva. As you all know, we have quite a few exciting activities planned as part of celebrations of 15 years of Hindu Yuva. The first is what are we going to do as part of HY15? What we are going to do, our activities, are broadly categorized in three main pillars. First, expansion by reaching out to 150 locations during the 15th year of Hindu Yuva. Second, strengthening of our existing Hindu Yuva presence on campus, and building our footprint on social media. I know all of you are eagerly waiting for the video, and that's part of it. And the third, and lastly, documenting our impact and growth of Hindu Yuva over the past 15 years. The next is how are we going to achieve this? We are simply going to do this by conducting a number of activities that we are already doing with a bit more emphasis on our mission. As Amritaji mentioned, we'll be focusing on all of our activities that come under preserving, practicing, promoting, and protecting our Hindu Dharma and Hindu identity on university campuses. Through this, we truly aim to speak for Hindu students and provide a safe space for all to come and learn more about Hindu Dharma. As we have come to appreciate the organic style of functioning of Hindu Yuva, all our chapters will be picking and choosing what activities are most needed on their campuses and are most suitable for their students. But in the next slide, in the spirit of national celebrations, there are two activities that all our chapters will be participating in. One is Hindu Dharma Awareness. The Hindu Yuva national team will be providing our local chapters with resources on how to participate in this event. The second is the Alumni Network, which aims to bring our alumni together and engage them with their alma mater chapters and also various other activities that we have planned. The entire celebration is planned by 6 national teams: the Alumni Network, the database, social media, resource generation, merchandise, and the documentation team. Any of you is more than welcome to join all of our teams or any of the teams that you like. If you want to, please reach out to contact@hinduyuva.org or message us through any of our social media handles. One sampling of what is coming next is our merchandise team has some really cool and exciting items in store. One of them is the new Hindu Yuva t-shirt design with the new HY15 logo. A sample is right here. As part of the starting kit of Hindu Yuva 15, each chapter will receive 5 t-shirts, a number of pens, and a sticker design that you can modify to include your own social media handles. So this is something that all of our chapters will be receiving sometime very soon. At the end, I would like to take a minute to request all of you to take out your cell phones. Yes, really. Take out your cell phones and subscribe us on our social media handles. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, whatever your mode of consumption of your social media information is, we are there at Hindu Yuva USA. With that, I'll go back to our wonderful MC, Shruti. Thank you and Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Jaiminji. Over the past 15 years, thousands of people have been a part of Hindu Yuva activities in some way, shape, or form. Today, we have 4 alumni with us to share their experiences of being part of Hindu Yuva and how it's impacted them. First, we'll hear from Saiji Fanindra, who was part of Hindu Yuva from 2008 to 2013 at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill.
Namaste, everyone. I came to the US in 2008 for graduate studies at UNC Chapel Hill. And when I arrived at the airport, a couple of members from the Hindu Yuva chapter there, they kind of picked me up from the airport and they helped me settle in. And during that ride itself, I made a connection with those, with those people, and then we really became like really good friends since then. And they invited me to the Hindu Yuva activities, and I started participating in them, and I became an active member of the group very soon. And what I kind of loved most about the group was about Hindu Yuva. Being a part of that was, to see how welcoming it was for everyone, be it like undergrad or grad, American or international students. So everyone was welcome to be a part of that group, and we were all kind of contributing equally to that group. So I think that was really wonderful to see. And I think, it was probably one of the only organizations, or one of the very few organizations, that actually had that kind of a mix. As an immigrant student from Bharat, for me, Hindu Yuva actually played, it served as like a bridge between Bharat and America, from like the cultural point of view. It also helped me grow as an individual over the years, develop like lasting friendships. I found really good mentors through Hindu Yuva, who I'm still connected to and I look up to. And I also feel I was lucky to be part of Hindu Yuva during my grad school, because it helped me, it provided me opportunities to serve the local community while I was, focusing on grad school work. And I think for the most part, I think the mentors and the other members at Hindu Yuva played a big role in that, because they kind of showed that we could still think about others, work for others, at any stage of our life. So I think with that, hope you all have a wonderful time being part of Hindu Yuva.
Thank you. Next, we have Kathy G. Vaidya, who was in Hindu Yuva at the University of Houston from 2012 to 2014.
Thank you, Shruti, and namaste, everyone. Like she said, I was at University of Houston from 2012 to 2014. And I, along with a few other students, started a Hindu Yuva chapter on campus in 2013. And our main goal was to provide Hindu students with a community of like-minded peers to practice and experience Hindu culture on campus. One of our flagship event on campus was Suswagatam. And on our campus, this was a two-part event, which involved one, picking up incoming students from the airport, and two, get together for all the new students to get to know each other. Now, the unique thing about Houston as a city is that there are over 40 Hindu organizations in the greater Houston area. So for the airport pickups, we were able to get a lot of volunteers who are, people who've settled in the city of Houston for a number of years. And so we were able to get these volunteers to volunteer to pick up the students. And for the student gathering, we were able to have families prepared home-cooked meals and sit together along with the new students as a family and enjoy that meal. So both these events provided the new students with that comfort and solace that, they were able to, finding a family away from home. And most importantly, connecting them to the greater Hindu community. Because a lot of times students, when they're on campus, they end up being in a bubble. So this connection between the students and the community was one of the most important and like one of the most key things that we were able to do on our campus through Hindu Yuva. Now, as Hindus, visiting temples is one of the most important part of practicing our culture. And more often than not, students don't have the means or transportations to visit temples while they're on campus. So Hindu Yuva at UH organized Mandir Yatras, where we rented school buses and organized a trip to multiple temples around the area, around the Houston area. And this was usually during big festivals like Yugadi, which is the Hindu New Year. And students really appreciated this because a lot of them were not able to visit any temples ever since they came into the US. So this was another way we were able to have students connect with the larger Hindu community. Now, I graduated in 2014, and of course, the Hindu Yuva chapter at UH continued to exist and have had multiple events ever since. But we really saw the outcome of these connections of connecting students to the community, to the Hindu community in 2017 when Hurricane Harvey hit Houston. Most of the city was underwater, but the whole community joined hands to help students who were in need. But more importantly, as soon as the water level dropped, students were able to step out of the house, and they came together and volunteered for those who were in need and to give back to the community who was there for them ever since they came into the US. Many yuvas from the time that I was on campus are now young professionals, and they still continue to engage in the community and volunteer for Hindu causes. So it's really exciting to see how far Hindu Yuva has come, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds.
Thank you, Kathy ji. Our next alumni is Lekhaji Ved P, who was involved in Hindu Yuva at the University of Massachusetts Amherst from 2013 to 2017.
Namaste, everyone. When I went to UMass Amherst as an undergrad, there were so many popular South Asian social clubs, Bollywood and Bhangra dance teams, singing groups, Indian sororities, fraternities. Many Hindu Indian students who belong in these groups didn't attend or mingle with other students or part of other groups. Everyone was already part of an established social circle. So it was overwhelming when I started university to figure out which group could I join, or more importantly, which group will accept me. Another Yuva and I thought, wouldn't it be nice to have a meeting place where Hindu students from all different backgrounds, students with different hobbies, interests, can come together and be friends with each other, celebrate festivals together, discuss important issues, and share ideas that matter to us. That's the thought behind how Hindu Yuva at UMass started in 2013. One unique event UMass Hindu Yuva experimented is Mehndi Night. Students could come get different Mehndi designs done, paying a small fee. The board contacted art majors and invited them to be the Mehndi artists. The board worked with sororities to set up event and help market through social media. The board decided all the proceeds collected should be donated to Ekal Vidyalaya. To our surprise, there were almost 100 attendees and about $800 collected in one night. It was so wonderful to see how Hindu Yuva event could bring together such a large community of students from different background cultures with one goal to raise awareness and funds for a good cause, while also still having fun. The event was such a success and appreciated by so many. Some of the other sororities and other South Asian cultural clubs started doing their own Mehndi nights each semester to raise funds for different causes. As an organization, we never felt jealous or upset our event idea was being used, but felt proud that Hindu Yuva made such an impact on our campus that inspired other organizations to also do some seva and create awareness and help their local communities. The team was very happy to receive pictures from Ekal Vidyalaya students who got school supplies such as pencils, backpacks, books. This is what Hindu Yuva stands for, to bring together a community that's inclusive, spreads awareness, creates strong leaders while practicing, promoting good values. It's so exciting that we're gathered today to celebrate 15 years of Hindu Yuva and to continue expanding this message.
Thank you, Lekhaji. Our last alumni today is Jignesh Borisa, who graduated from San Jose State University in 2010 and was part of Hindu Yuva there for 2 years. Jignesh was also our former national president of Hindu Yuva.
Dhanyavad, Shruti. Thank you everyone for giving me an opportunity, and namaste everyone. So as Hindu Yuva alumni and Hindu Yuva ex-president earlier, so we have, like, during the 2010, between 2010 and 2015, we conducted various activities, like during the Swami Vivekananda, I remember in Swami Vivekananda 158th birth anniversary celebration, SV 115 in 2013, like we conducted like various poster, Swami Vivekananda's life story poster exhibition in almost 100+ university, as well as We have done like a various unique program, like Lekhya ji and Khyati ji was mentioning. Similar to that, like we conducted various unique program like Swami Vivekananda Express. In during his life, he visited West Coast, and in West Coast, particularly in San Francisco, a northern part of San Francisco, he visited. There is a there's a retreat center, as well as there are places within Bay Area that he visited. So we took all the youth around here and visited those places and showed them like what Swami Vivekananda has actually provided message during that time, and that inspired so many youth. And during the during the same time frame, many of the young professional youth, like they have taken their time out and they have spread the message of Swami Vivekananda and taken the work of Hindu YUVA in various universities, that we could reach out to many number of universities, almost 100 plus. And like I remember that some of the youth have taken a time break, and they have become a full-time volunteer for Hindu YUVA. Similarly, some of the youth, they were working full time from Monday to Friday, but in the evening time they were doing Hindu Yuva work, as well as on the in the weekend they leave their home on Friday evening and come back on Sunday night. So like that, they have spread so much work, and they have spent so much time and given a time to bring the Hindu Yuva where we are at currently. And similarly, in 2016, like when we had our last Hindu Youth Conference, at that time, like almost 100 plus Hindu youth leaders, they gathered together and had a resolution where we will take our work further. And I'm glad to see that there are 33 plus Hindu youth chapter across all the universities, and they are striving to work more and more. And I'm very happy that we are at the 15th year of Hindu Yuva. We are reaching out to 150 locations and 150 universities. So that will spread the message, and and like what we are doing and taking this 4P: preserve, protect, and what we try to achieve in terms of promoting Hindu Yuva and practicing Hindu Dharma on university campuses. We can achieve that at some point. Namaste.
Thank you, Jigneshji. It was wonderful to hear all of your experiences and the great impact that Hindu Yuva had and continues to have on your lives. Now, Shefali Panikar from London, Canada, will be launching a very exciting music video. Shefali is a 22-year-old singer from Ontario, Canada. Her music journey began at the age of 6 when she started learning Carnatic music. A strong foundation in classical music gave her the ability to explore different genres such as Bollywood, pop, and regional Indian music. Last year, she began posting short covers on different social media platforms such as TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, where she has garnered millions of views and over 400,000 followers across all platforms. She is most well known for her TikTok series, in which she combines several languages on one beat. Shefali hopes to continue creating music in unique ways while celebrating her Hindu and Indian roots.
Thank you for that introduction, Shruti. Namaste, everybody. I'm very, very honored to be a part of this music project and celebrate Hindu Yuva's 15th anniversary today. So we began planning this music project early in the summer with the aim of creating a song that promoted Hindu culture in a modern way, but without diluting the essence of bhajans and devotional music itself. Personally, I love learning and singing bhajans. It's my favorite thing to do. And more than just the musical aspect of it, I think it's an incredible way of invoking bhakti or devotion. So we hope this music video and song inspires yuvas across North America and globally to be proud of their faith and to continue to preserve Hindu Dharma. This project was not created overnight, as we had a whole team of extremely talented yuvas who dedicated their time and effort selflessly for this project. And we're also very grateful to have Krishna Das ji to be a part of this song, who just added the perfect touch with his amazing voice. Special thank you to Ame Bhai, who traveled all across America and Canada to film some iconic shots. So try to see if you recognize some of these cities in the video. And thank you to Vishwajit for facilitating the project and Satvik for the music production and the entire team who made this project a reality. So without further ado, we present the Sri Ram Jai Ram music video.
Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhaja Manaharana Bhava Bhayadarunam. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhaja Manaharana Bhava Bhayadarunam. Payu ji maine Ram Ratan धन पायो, पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो। वस्तु मौलिक दी मेरे सतगुरु, वस्तु मौलिक दी मेरे सतगुरु, कृपा कर अपनायो, पायो जी मैंने कृपा कर अपनायो। राम रतन धन पायो, राम रतन धन पायो। श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मनहरण भव कंदर्पगणितामित जभीनव नीर नीरज सुंदरम पटपीठमानोदरित रुचि सुचि नौमि जनक सुतावरम्।
Anjaneya Veera Hanumantasura Vaya Kumara Vanara Veera Anjaneya Veera Hanumantasura Vaya Kumara Vanara Veera
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Ram Jai Radhe Shyam. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Sita Ram Jai Radhe Shyam. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Sita Ram Jai Radhe Shyam. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Sita Ram Jai Radhe Shyam. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Sita Ram Jai Radhe Shyam. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Sita Ram Jai
Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman, Sankatamochan Kripanidam.
Thank you. That was some amazing videography, beautiful performances, and wonderful music. Now, please welcome Saket Puri from University of Texas at Dallas to introduce our guest speaker.
Namaste everyone. Mananiya Ved Nanda is a John Evans Distinguished University Professor and Thompson G. Marsh Professor of Law at the University of Denver, where he founded the International Legal Studies program in 1972, and now directs the Ved Nanda Center for International and Comparative Law. He is an alumnus of Northwestern University and Yale University, and has spent more than 55 years teaching law at academic institutions. Professor Nanda holds many leadership positions in the international law community, including the World Jurist Association, American Society of International Law, International Law Association, American Law Institute, and the American Bar Association's Human Rights Center and section of International Law. He has served as U.S. delegate to the World Federation of the United Nations Associations in Geneva and on the Governing Council of the United Nations Association of the USA. He is an officer and board member in several international and national NGOs, especially those serving the Indian diaspora and concerned with India-US relations. He is the chair of the Oberoi Foundation for Religious Studies and currently serves as the president of Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh, America Zone. He has received numerous national and international awards and has authored or co-authored 24 books and over 225 chapters and law review articles in international and comparative law. In 2018, Professor Nanda was honored with the Padma Bhushan, one of the highest civilian awards given by the government of India. The same year, the American Bar Association International Law section gave him its highest award, the Louis B. Sohn Award, for distinguished long-standing contributions to the field of public international law. We are honored to have him today amongst us and are eager to hear from him.
Namaskar, everyone. Delighted to be with you. I am delighted to hear about your accomplishments. And as you talked about preserving, practicing, promoting, and protecting, I like that. And today you are celebrating, we are celebrating it says unmute yourself. I did. Okay. So delighted to be here on this launch. It's 15 years. And you talked about Hindu tradition. And in Hindu tradition is that once you are 15, you are the one who has got to chart your own course. And after 15, nobody gives you advice. So I simply want to say dhanyavad for asking me to come and goodbye. No, all right. I was privy to some of your programs. When you had Rutgers Guru Vandana, I was absolutely amazed that you had 500 people plus, and you had so many faculty, chancellors, president of the university, vice chancellors, faculty, as I said, and that really was very, very impressive. I was very pleased to see all that happen. You have asked me to talk about my own journey, because as I look at you and the 4 alumni that spoke about their journey, very briefly, I came from Bharat and I began at the University of Chicago, Northwestern, Yale, then the United Nations, and then I started teaching. But during the time when I did all that, in the background was my own experience in Bharat. And that experience was with Akhil Bharati Vidyarthi Parishad. This is a student organization. When I was the president of it, it was small, as you are still small. And tomorrow, as you are thinking of reaching out to 150 universities, and I think you need to think big. There is absolutely no reason that you cannot reach out to 150 in a time span that you decide. And my own thinking is that unless you think big, you cannot achieve. Now, Akhil Bharati Vidyarthi Parishad, when I was the president, was small. Today, it's one of the biggest student organizations anywhere in the world. So my journey began with that. I came here and at Northwestern, at Chicago, I did not stay very long. I think it's a different story. But the only thing is that my professor that I came to work with, he was going to Germany next year. And he wanted me to go with him. And I don't know German. I didn't want to go to Germany. So I decided that I did not want to stay there. And I had also applied to Northwestern, and I had selected Chicago, University of Chicago. But then I decided I ought to go back to Northwestern and talk with the person who had invited me and given me fellowship. So I went to see him, and this guy looked at me, my professor, and he said, "You rejected us." He said, "But I will select you." So I moved to Northwestern, and from there, Yale. And at Yale, I was president of their World Community Association. And this was a student organization at the Yale Law School. And there were not many Hindus at that time. It was 1960, October, that I came to Chicago, Northwestern. Then it was 1962, 63 that I was at Yale. And from Yale, then they started an international student organization with all different law schools. And Yale wanted me to become the president. That was the first time that they were starting it. So I was the founding president of the International Law Student Association. And at Yale also, there's a Student Bar Association. I was part of it. And at the university, as mentioned, I have been very fortunate and have been able to work with not simply students, but in the community. And here in Denver, for 2 years, I hosted a TV show on our NBC. Then on PBS also, I didn't host, but I was there for 2-3 years. And for many, many years now, if there is an international issue that happens, I have the privilege to be asked to come and comment on it. So it has been a wonderful life. And 160 years, University of Denver history, they had never given founding award, Founders Day Award. And this is the first time that a faculty member, and that is me and the first faculty member, this last year, I got the founding award, Founders Day Award. So I think it has been a wonderful life, and that has been my journey. Now, you also mentioned today Swami Vivekananda. That certainly has been our inspiration. You probably know that in a young age of 39 years, he passed away. And in those 39 years, his impact, not simply in India, Bharat, but his impact especially in the West, where he introduced Vedanta, where he introduced yoga, where he introduced Hinduism to this community and had an indelible imprint upon the community here. So that has been Swami Vivekananda, whose inspiration we have. I heard about your own work and with Seva, with the celebration of all these events, with the book club, with getting on campus some speakers. So where do you go? And obviously expanding it, having Hindu Yuva in all these universities, I think it's an ambitious plan. Once you have a plan, then you execute it. And I am wishing and hoping and looking forward to your aspiration becoming a reality. Now, in the university, as you probably know, there is plenty to do. And at this stage, you have begun. But what else can be done now? I think if you have the strength, if working along with other like-minded student organizations, that you network and work with them, then I think there are plenty of challenges and problems in the university. You talked about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and that has become a buzzword in all universities, in many, many organizations. But in all that, you do not believe in simply a slogan, you believe in reality. And the fact is that in this world today, when you find people who cannot tolerate each other, cannot tolerate diversity, you come from a tradition, we come from a tradition, where it's not simply tolerance, but there is acceptance. Not simply acceptance, but respect, celebration of diversity. So in all that area, in the university, things that are happening, we need to be part of it. As I said, you have got the strength. There is absolutely no reason that you should not play an important part in the university governance. Students are part of governance. Today, it's the faculty, it's at the same time the administration, but students play an important role, whether it's the student bar association, student association in your university. Hindu Yuva gradually should see that it plays an important role in that. And what does that do? That gives you an opportunity to see that in the university, not simply that you as Hindu Yuva bring a speaker on campus, but then you select speakers to come to the university. You play an important role in what the university does. And then as alumni of Hindu Yuva, then you play an important role in the country's not simply cultural, not simply intellectual, but hopefully in the political life also. Because this country is going through pretty rough time. Washington is dysfunctional. You find that at the present time around the world, people have started talking about the United States with one word, and that is on the way declining. That can't happen. 1960s, Vietnam happened in this country. There were hippies, and people kept talking about the United States in decline. It doesn't have its own culture anymore. And the United States reinvented itself. Hindu Yuva, many of you are going to be seeing this as your Karam Bhumi. We've got our roots in Bharat, in Hindu Dharma. That is the one that gives us inspiration. That is the one that has given us, again, not a slogan, but a reality, that there is oneness in the universe. We are the ones who believe it, who practice it, who are going to preserve it, who will protect it, and I think who will promote it. And so my own feeling is that in the days to come, you've got to play more important role in the university life, and as alums, more important role in the life of this country. Because Swami Vivekananda inspires us. It is the young people, the youth, who have been able in many countries, as you look at the history, and I've followed it, and many of you have followed it, they are the ones who have given direction to the country. Not that you are going to be disrespectful to the elders. That is not our tradition. But our tradition is that young people with their passion, young people with their dedication, young people with their energy, they are the ones who give society an impetus to do things, to think big, to achieve them, to accomplish them. And I hope that Hindu Yuva, in the days to come, as it expands to many, many universities, then it has got an impact upon the university life, working with other organizations, networking, and bringing around people that can at times not work together. But I think the days are there and have to come when you can play a very, very important role. Unfortunately, when I was here in the 60s, there were very few Hindu students. And those Hindu students who came, almost all of them came for 2 years, 4 years, and to go back immediately. Many of you are going to stay here. And I said, as a Karam Bhumi, let me repeat, as a Karam Bhumi, you have got to have an impact upon it and have an impact as Hindu Yuva. Because in Bharat, what I learned from Sangh, what I learned from Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, that has really been a pivot for my own life. That has been a pillar of my own strength. And I think, as you rightly said, that Hindu Dharma is the one that's going to guide us. And at the present time, there are plenty of challenges. But those challenges give us opportunities. And if we are the ones who can take advantage of those opportunities and can give a direction to others, and set an example, and by that example, to be able to inspire those who are likely to follow you. So I'm delighted to be with you. I wish that we could launch it in person, that I was there along with you and be able to talk with you in person, but that was not going to be. And so my namaskar to you and my very, very best wishes to you. And you should know that I'll be watching you and your progress with a great deal of my best wishes, and there is a great deal of hope and a great deal of promise that you give me. So I look forward to being with you next time that you meet. So do ask me to come, I'll join you. Namaskar.
Thank you, Vednanaji, for sharing your inspiring experiences and journey. You have reminded us that the university landscape has changed tremendously over the years. We are now fortunate to have thousands of Hindu students on campuses across North America. But this doesn't mean that our work is done. We must not only be leaders of Hindu activities on our campuses, but leaders in the overall university life of organizations and leadership. Our thousands of alumni now spread around the world can play a key role as change makers and represent the Hindu voice in all that we do. Our mission to preserve, practice, promote, and protect Hindu Dharma carries throughout our lives. We will now take the energy from this launch and the motivating message of Ved Nandaji throughout this year of celebrations of 15 years of Hindu Yuva. Please share the music video and take 2 minutes now to subscribe to @Hindu Yuva USA on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok for more exciting content in the coming months. Dhanyavad, and thank you for joining us today.